Okay, Brite Lite Promotions, Joe C. Rock Madden, special guest in the house tonight, out of Berlin, Germany, Foundation Selector Barney Millah. Say what's up to the fans.
What's up, what's up? I'm in the house, straight from Berlin, Germany.
Okay, we gonna go over a little history quick fast and let the people know what you have done in the business, what you have done for the sound system in Germany. Let's start with the sound that you actually played in Germany and when you started. I believe it was back in the early 90s. What was that sound name?
Yeah, 91 was my first time to touch down Jamaica, and we have some partners and went to a dance and said, yo, that's it, we gotta go. We came back to Germany and established a sound system by the name of Concrete Jungle.
Okay. The sound, Concrete Jungle, if you're not familiar with it, it's from Berlin, Germany. And what they say in Berlin, Germany is it's the first generation of sound system. What was some of the other sound systems around that point in time that was competing with Concrete Jungle in Germany?
Well, in Berlin, you had some more or less DJ selectors from some Caribbean islands doing most of the things. Some Jamaicans doing just DJing, but not really sound system. Apart from a Guyanese guy named, his sound was named Black Scorpion, right? And he had a little set, but otherwise there was nothing really big happening. And this kind of sound system style. Okay, we never owned a set, but we were inspired by Stone Love them time. And yeah, we were just going through the clubs and or community centers, renting sound systems, set it up and playing. And by the same time, in the early 90s, around 91, the same time, there was in Cologne the same thing happening with Pow Pow, and in Hamburg the same thing happening with Silly Walks. And yeah, very soon in the first year we got along with each other, we got to know each other, and then we went to Cologne, to Hamburg. They came from Hamburg and Cologne to Berlin to play with us, and then more and more artists or not DJs or crews got inspired to establish their own sound systems as well.
Okay,
you know?
Once again we're gonna call this the first generation of sound systems in Germany. That's Silly Walks, Pow Pow, Concrete Jungle, Black Scorpion.
Yeah.
Okay, so now to separate what we're saying by first generation and second generation, you guys are actually the veterans for the Supersonics and the Sentinels.
Yeah,
in
actually,
our time.
yeah, you could tell so. Yes, yes.
Okay, so what was it like again back in the early 90s in the German sound system scene? Was it sound clash going on, or were you guys just coming together and juggling, playing together, spreading reggae music?
Yeah, well, it was more or less kind of friendly juggling and so, but still we did some sound clashes, but with the amount of dubplates that we had in those days, and especially with artists that nobody knew, it was a little hard. And then the German crowd did not understand what we were actually doing there.
Okay,
you know?
what was your first sound clash?
Oh gosh, that's hard to say. I think in 92 or 93 we had some legendary sound clashes. Once in Berlin with Silly Walks, where Silly Walks beat our ass.
Okay.
We're in the final, you know, the final question is, who you think won the clash? Concrete Jungle? Silence.
Okay.
Silly Walks, everybody, you know, so they beat us hard, but we had a return clash in Hamburg where we actually matched, you know, so
okay.
It was, yeah, that was some legendary sound clashes.
Okay, around that time, this is mainland Europe. Around that time, did the sound systems from England had any type of influence over the culture in Germany? The sounds like, I would say, Saxon, David Rodigan, those sounds?
Well, I call David Rodigan my godfather in DJing, right? Because in the 80s, I come from Berlin. Berlin was occupied by Americans, British, and French. So all these armies had their own stations. So it was a British station, BFBS, British Forces Broadcasting Service, where Rodigan had a show on from 1984. And I was on the show every week, you know, so I learned a lot from David Rodigan, and up till today, now me and Rodigan are like this, you know.
Okay, so you and David Rodigan actually play together?
Oh, yearly, twice, 3 times a year, you
okay.
know. But anytime he comes to Germany, or almost every time he comes to Germany, to Berlin, I'll be playing with him. And I've been on tour twice with Rodigan, on a German tour. And so, yeah, I mean, he's my godfather, you know. And but apart from Rodigan, he was the only one came over to Germany a couple of times because of the British forces, you know.
Okay.
So certain promoters out of the British forces bring him to Germany. So he's well known in Germany from the 80s. But we brought Saxon from England in around '94. We played with some other we brought artists like Asha D and Daddy Freddy, Joseph Cotton, and so we brought them over, and up till today I'm good with Daddy Freddy and Joseph Cotton, and
okay.
and then it was actually the biggest thing with big sound system coming from Yard, you know, was our 10 years anniversary in 2001, where we had Rodigan and Stone Love, Weepow, and Rory for our 10 years anniversary, you know.
Okay.
But before, I mean, yeah, even before there were some shows with like Bass Odyssey or Renaissance, and there were some actions, but more on a lower basis, not really touring Germany. Then it was like some promoter did it in Stuttgart or another one in Cologne, and you know, I mean, Popo presented a lot of things in Cologne and things, you know.
Okay, Brite Lite Promotions. We've sat down with a lot of European sounds, mainly German sounds. What do you actually think of the new sound system scene with the sounds like Sentinel, Supersonic, Warrior? What do you think of the new generation of sound system?
Well, to me, I mean, they brought it to that level that we dreamed of to put it on. But for us, it took a long time, you know. I mean, when we went to Jamaica and came back, we tried to show the people the new dances, you know, and the people looked at us mad, you know. We come with the bogle, we come with the butterfly, we come with all that kind of dance, you know. Okay. But nobody was really dancing it, you know. And nowadays it's completely different, you know. When you don't know the latest dance, you know, then some people look at you like, oh, he dances, so, you know.
Okay.
And so also playing wise, you know, clashing and all that thing, you know, that took a really while, and it was the second generation that brought it now to a level that you can be seen international. Okay. You know, when I see Supersonic in my sound, you know, and we were supporting Supersonic from scratch, you know, and not only Concrete Jungle, a few other sounds that came after us, but never really made it international, you know, but we gave them a blight and, you know, paved the way for them, you understand? And now I'm glad to see when Supersonic come to play in New York several times and win clashes here against Woolipa Sound, you know.
Big up Panzer and the crew.
You know, Panzer and Spider and the crew, you know.
Yes.
I mean, that's my sound, you know. They win clashes in the Caribbean, and but also Sentinel, the first World Clash winner, you know. Yeah. I mean, come on, enough respect.
Big up Daniel.
Yeah, you know, and actually Pau was the first German sound take part in a World Clash, yes. You know. They didn't win, but still, you know, it was a big success, you know what I mean?
Okay, so with that being said now, Barney Millah, you're touring the world, you're here in New York right now. What's going on for you? If promoters, the fans want to reach out to you, where can they reach out and link Barney Millah if they want to book you for a date? Is there music online that the fans could reach out and hear you playing? Is there weekly events that you're playing right now?
Yeah, right now I'm working on another new monthly event. I used to have a Barney Millah night in a club called Yam in Berlin, but through some circumstances I have to rework it. I hope it's gonna be ready for for January then.
Okay.
And at the moment I play the same club Yam on a weekly basis on Wednesday nights. I used to run 18 years a Monday night, which had to give up because of other circumstances. But also in this case, I'm working on another weekly regular. You can get me on Facebook, Barney Millah, BARNEYMILLAH.
Don't want to mistake it with the actor.
Exactly.
Yep. Yep.
And also on SoundCloud, SoundCloud / Barney Millah.
Okay. So you have mixes on SoundCloud that people can reach out.
Not many, but I'm also working on it to put more regular mixes on SoundCloud.
Okay. And what is Barney Millah currently listening to now?
To be honest, at the moment, my biggest thing, my heart goes for the new generation of reggae musicians in Jamaica, and actually also worldwide, because now you find wicked artists from Africa and other parts of the world, but mainly, of course, artists like Chronix, like Protégé, like Kabaka Pyramid, Jesse Royal, the whole crew, and this is what my heart beats for at the moment. Because at the moment I cannot really deal with the current dancehall style. I mean, I still love it, but I don't love it that much anymore that I used to. And I comment from the dancehall because when I started to listen to reggae music, really got into deep reggae music in the early 80s. I started to listen to reggae from 1980, and it was mainly dancehall them time, like Yellowman, Tristan Palmer and
Michael Palmer
as well. You know what I mean? It was dancehall.
Yes.
I mean, when I play that kind of style, I do a monthly vintage night, strictly vinyl, and from the 60s to the 80s, right?
Okay.
Musically, and I play a lot of early 80s dancehall, and still people come and say, "Could you play some dancehall now, please?" I said, "This is dancehall." "Nah, man, that's roots reggae." I said, "Are you kidding me?" You know what I mean? So the people don't consider it as a dancehall, but
Yes.
I mean, I was a dancehall kid from ever since,
Okay.
And but at the moment, and when I listen to Jesse Royal or Protégé, so there's still dancehall, but
dancehall is actually just a place.
Yeah.
It's actually just a place.
Yeah.
For people that don't know, the listeners, dancehall is actually just a place.
Exactly.
Okay.
But also a style, I mean, it's still the difference between the 70s roots rock reggae. No, dancehall is straight, and the music, even when you listen to our Chronix, it's straight from musically, and so I consider it still a dancehall. But when the people think of dancehall now, they think of Alkaline, Cartel, and all the Movado, Idonia, and
yes.
Assassin and them.
I'm glad you could call all the names.
Of course,
it showed
of
me
course.
that you're current still, even though you choose maybe not to play it, you're still current
I'm
with
still
it.
following it.
Okay.
But I'm not too up to date anymore.
Brite Lite Promotions, Joe C. Rock Madden, the legendary Barney Millah. It was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure to be, man. Big up, enough respect. Thanks.